Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NJPW Puroresu Review. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right over there, here is the lady who's hosting so many people this week. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
Chateau Melball is up for
Yep.
reservations now, apparently. I got a full week of guests. I got Kat after AEW, which is going to end up with some questionable results because she and I get a little crazy. Got you after CWE, which also potentially questionable because we gotta keep you sober enough that you can get to work out with Rich on Friday. Friday we got Top Talent. Amazing Carly is going to be staying with me. Man, it's so busy. Busy. But
Yes,
great busy because wrestling.
that's
How are you
right.
doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm employed again, or I will be in a couple of
Yay!
days. So I have a new job starting in a couple of days. So I'm happy. I'm not going to talk about my
Yay!
exact job because keep that on the down low. But yeah, I got a job again, and I'm happy and be back to
Yay!
normal living. And that now I have a job with a normal schedule instead of working randomly in my morning guy and my late night guy. I got a job. I
Mm.
got a regular hours a day job. I got to work Saturdays, but I'm fine with that. I'm only got to work a few hours a day on Saturdays, so I can live with that.
And like you can get done early enough that if there's an RCW show that night, we can still make it to RCW.
Heck, and I can afford
Winning.
to go to a lot of shows now. Like right now, I'm just scraping by. I'll actually have money, like proper money in my bank account again.
Yay! More wrestling.
More wrestling, more everything. Let's do it.
Yes. Celebrate. But
And I
not like Steve.
like
Not
Steve.
like Steve.
I'm so confused.
Celebrate, Steve. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Celebrate. Come
Oh
on.
yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Celebrate.
Yeah. We're not here to talk Claudio the Chance Meatballs. We're here to talk some NJPW. Before we do that, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for joining us. Whether you're listening to us in audio form or in Sunday Night's Main Event, and if you're not and you want to hear us in audio form, go to sundaysmainevent.com. You get the RSS feed there, and then there's more content if you want to support them through the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/SNME Radio. It's only $4 American per month. I think it's $5 Canadian. Like great value with everything they give you there. Plus, everything comes out early over there, so it's a good value. And then thank you, all y'all that are watching on the YouTube, whether it's Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk, whether it's Backbreaker Video. Thank you so very much for joining us here. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Don't forget to share us out to all your friends, family, and all those odd little weird kids that just roam the streets. And then don't forget to hit the notification bell so you alert it every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello.
Keep,
That face, when you
keep
made
your
the face.
semen demons on a leash, people. Keep your semen demons on a leash. Keep them
No,
inside.
it's when you made the faces that it cracked me up.
You know how
Oh,
much I love the children.
not at all.
Not even a little.
Me either. But we're gonna talk about some Wrestling Dontaku from May 3rd and May 4th, and we're kicking it off. We're gonna change. We're changing the style up. We're just gonna give you results for all the undercard stuff. And we'll get into the big matches. We'll give you some we'll get in depth on those. Yeah. So we're gonna kick it off. It kicks off. Togi Mac. Wait, do I have the? Nope, I have the wrong. Yeah, I do have the right one up. Perfect. There we go. It's Togi Makabe and Katsuya Murashima taking on Oleg Boltin and Sho Makato. In the end, though, at the end of this match came when Oleg catches Murashima hitting like a running crossbody, gets him up on his shoulders, hits the Kamikaze, which is the Green Bay Plunge, the running Green Bay Plunge for the win. Again, really fun opening tag.
Um, Not gonna lie, wasn't expecting that win, partially because even though Mr. Bolton Oleg is a champion, I doubt he's still considered a young lion. He still has the generic music. He's still got the generic thing. If he's a champion now, I would assume he's out of excursion. Give him some freaking color.
Mm-hmm.
give him something, but then make it more apparent to me that he deserves a win over a veteran like Togi Makabe.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, very solid match. These new young guys, how do you say his name? Morishima?
Yeah,
Uh,
Murashima, yeah.
we haven't been seeing him quite as much as Shomakato. But you wouldn't, I mean, wouldn't guess why. They both wrestle at the same kind of competency level, which is ever impressive with NJPW and their Lion system.
Mm.
Great opener.
Yeah, great. Again, this is like the pre-show match of it all too. So yeah, great way to open a card.
100%, 100%. I'd rush
So
in to watch this match.
yeah, we move on. It's House of Torture. Sho and Yujiro taking on just 5 guys, Douki and Taka Michinoku. Yeah, I'm just getting tired of House of Torture matches because it's becoming the same. End of the
It is.
match.
It's just the same shenanigans every time.
End of the match. Taka has just face lock on Yujiro. Sho breaks it up, and then Douki chases him out. Yujiro uses the ref to distract Taka. He hits Taka with the pimp cane and hits Big Juice for the win. Yeah. Not what I wanted to see.
No. Gosh dang. It sucks so much because individually, each member of House of Torture is so good. They have
Except
such great
Yujiro.
character. Even Yujiro, I mean, the point of his
Not
gimmick
anymore.
is now kind of, it's without Bullet Bunny on a regular basis, him being the Tokyo pimp does it's what's the right word for is convoluted the right word?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
guess so. I guess
It
so.
doesn't make sense. It
No,
makes
not
no
at all.
sense because, it would be like The Godfather showing up without hose. It makes no sense. The character was built on that. And I do think Yujiro is actually, for his age and mobility, I think he's still a solid wrestler. Is he championship level? No. But is he, always someone has to fall. He's a great job. He's a great fall guy. But yeah, he shouldn't be picking up wins at this point. He should be the
No.
Fukigen death of House of Torture. It shouldn't be Taka taking these losses anymore. Taka is like Waka. I'm sick of seeing him take the falls. Hashtag support for Taka.
It's the Aka problem. It's the Aka problem.
It
That's what it
is.
is.
It's the Aka problem. Aka equation.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on. Tag team match: United Empires, Callum Newman and the Great Okan taking on just 5 guys, Taichi and Yuya Uemura. In the end, the Os Cutter is stopped by Uemura from Newman, and Newman ends up hitting strikes, goes for his powerbomb, but Uemura slips out into and grabs the deadlock suplex, gets the bridge, and gets the win. But what I really like was post match. Like Colin was leaning against the apron, and Uemura climbed on the ropes and stood over him, holding up the KOPW title that he had just recently won from Mr. Khan. And I thought that was actually a great shot of him just standing over him, showing this isn't over. But then there was shots of Taichi looking at Uemura, giving him looks, but for that KOPW title. So it's is his teammate gonna try and take the KOPW title from him? So it's I was this match was actually gave me a lot of intrigue here.
I was gonna say I really enjoyed this match actually, not just for the story that these guys created in the ring, but for the stories that they're potentially creating afterwards. You would think that we wouldn't want to see that kind of interfaction warfare kind of happening, considering we just saw it with Los Ingobernables. This I feel is going to be a different kind of story than with Yota Tsuji versus Tetsuya Naito, because it really is like the fresh young guy coming in, having won a title off of an established vet like the Great Okan, but who's in comparison to Taichi. I mean, we've seen the battles with Taichi and Shingo, Taichi, and the Great Okan. They he's just that little bit more experienced. So I think Taichi in the back of his mind kind of knows he might actually have this one in the bag, but it would be interesting to see how he puts just five guys on the map because at this point even though they've had a world champion fronting them, I don't feel that just five guys has actually done a whole lot of interesting things this year in comparison to the other factions.
It's true. They're kind of the faction that just happens to be there. I
Mm,
feel like they're in the same level as Hantai right now, in the fact that they
yeah,
just happen to exist.
and chaos.
And like Chaos at least has like Goto and Yoshihashi winning titles, like at least, and they have Yano as 1/3 of the 6-man champions. So at least like they like that faction has done something in having people win titles, but I still don't care about them. But at least they did something.
Yeah,
For
it's like
just
they're
five
not
guys,
particularly relevant.
for just five guys, it's just gone down the pooper. And Uemura just won his first title. So that's the most, but it's a KOPW title is the most prominent thing that faction has right now, and it's like, ugh.
I mean, arguably they should have that IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, but
I think Doki's the one out of the five of them that has had the biggest. Like, yes, Uemura won a title. The title doesn't mean a lot. I think Doki's been the biggest person out of the group this year with
100%,
his junior title stuff.
100%, 100%. Not even just the junior title stuff, but just anybody he seems to be feuding with. Everybody's interested. He's going after the right people, or at least being booked against the right people to make him look stronger, and I love it.
Yeah. So we move on. It is G.O.D. Girls of Destiny, El Phantasmo, Hikuleo, and Jado. Not the guys hanging out in the bloodline. These are New Japan strong or New Japan faithful G.O.D. taking on TMDK's Kosei Fujita, Mikey, Nicholls, and Shane Haste. End of the match comes Fujita and Seguri's Jado. ELP super kicks Fujita. TMDK tried to hit the tank buster to ELP, but he slips out. And Hikuleo goes for the double godsend, but they reverse him. They go for Thunder Valley, but ELP attacks Mikey Nicholls, roll and schoolboys him up while Hikuleo holds Shane Haste back, and they get the win. So it is official. At New Japan Strong Resurgence Show, we will be getting GOD versus TNDK one more time for the Strong tag titles. And unlike Bishamon who keep going, I'm okay with one more time from these teams as long as they can kind of part after that.
Yeah, I think one more time is the maximum I'm going to kind of be able to deal with it. Because, but Lord help me, please don't let Yoshihashi and like Goto be the next ones to try to go after that because I would be not happy with that. Bishamon needs to sit down a little bit, just chill its jets, regroup, take a couple months to figure their ish out because that chaos, it's literally living by its name. It's chaos right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
this
trying to
was
look
fun.
through. Just trying to look through and see if there's any other tag teams that could possibly be in there right now. But the other strong titles, so just let it be West Coast Wrecking Crew. Let it be somebody from the American side. Let it be an American team challenge them next. We don't need a Japanese team challenging for these titles right away. This is your American
No,
tag titles.
I feel like right now the tag division in NJPW is kind of squandering. There's been a big shake up, shake up. And I feel that they're kind of like, oh shit, what do we do now? Take a couple months to introduce some new combinations, get some people teaming up to. Please don't do mishmash stuff, but if we need some new members, introduce some new members. Oleg clearly is moved up. Let's get him a part of a faction. Let's get him, officially part of Hontai. Let's figure this issue out because we need to
No,
have everything kind of solid. And a light bulb just went up in there.
no, I want Boltin to go to Chaos, and then him and Yano could be a tag team. The most dangerous Meat Boys.
Curry meat.
Curry meat. Oh, that would be so good.
Oh dear.
Speaking of tag
Oh
titles, we
dear.
got another 6-man involving the other tag champions. Bishamon, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi teaming up with Tiger Mask to take on Bullet Club, Chase Owens, Kenta, and Taiji Ishimori. End of the match was backdrop into the corner, then out of the corner by Chase Owens to Tiger Mask for the pin, but it gets broken up. But Kenta and Ishimori are in, brawling with Yoshihashi and Goto, fighting them to the outside. Tiger Mask goes for like a tilt-a-whirl type move, but Chase reverses, hits a spinning back elbow, hits the C-trigger, finishes off with the package pile driver for the win.
That pile driver is so good. Mm-hmm. So good. And he puts it in so quick. So snug. Oh, so good. It was nice to see Ishimori again. I love seeing Ishimori tagging with these two. Was this the one where he did the bang bang with Chase? I feel like it was.
That was a couple shows ago because I remember they might have did it. I kind of skipped that part.
I think he did it again.
But I watched them do it a couple shows ago. I remember watching them do it, but I think I missed it. But yeah.
I feel like they're like just three dudes getting together again, having fun, wrecking shit, and then going home.
Who just happen to have a Bullet Club name on their gimmick.
Yeah.
Pretty much who they are now.
I like it though, because they're very obviously separate from the sub-faction House of Torture, and they're very obviously separated from the sub-faction of War Dogs. But like, I guarantee you, at some point in time, we're gonna see them interchanging people again, and especially once the Super Juniors start and we see some of them kind of mixed together, we'll see how long these bonds stay intact.
Yeah. True. We'll talk about interchanging of Bullet Club members on the May 4th show. But yeah, because there was a little bit. So we're going to move on. It's an 8-man tag. It's Los Ingobernables Japón, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, and Tetsuya Naito taking on the Bullet Club War Dogs, Clark Connors, Jill Maloney, Gabe Kidd, and Gato. Shingo and Gabe Kidd were fighting on the outside. Connors and Drilla get taken out, sent out to the floor. LIJ quadruple team Gato. Naito hits the inverted atomic drop. Bushi drop kicks the knee of Gato, and he slams it into the mat before applying his leg lock submission. I didn't catch the name. I need to figure out what the name of that submission is.
Well, that submission is so good.
And Gato is forced to tap out. Post-match, Kid is just yelling as he's wandering into the crowd for Shingo to come fight him in the crowd. And he's just yelling and getting mad. But Shingo won't take the bait. He says, just gets the mic, says, see you tomorrow. And Gabe Kidd just gets even more pissed and like whips the chair around and then just stalks off to the back all pissed off. So good.
Well, I mean, he pretty much toodles like to Gabe Kidd. I'd be pissed too. Feels like he's not taking him seriously. And it's Gabe freaking Kidd. Guy is in perpetual sassy pants mode. It's crazy. I enjoyed how this ended. I liked seeing Gato lose, and I liked seeing Bushi picking up wins. It's been nice.
Many Bushis in the crowd?
I think I saw one. Only one. I haven't been looking as much, but I do happen to notice them in other matches. But if I'm being honest, I'm seeing more Desperado masks in the crowd than Bushi. Something worth noting. And a Liger. I see one Liger consistently. Like legend. Full cosplay Liger. Like not just the mask.
Wow. Let's come in. They're Jason Rutledging.
Yeah. Yeah. And every once in a while, you see one guy who's also dressed up as Red Shoes. The crowd.
Yeah, but anybody can just put on a pair of red shoes. Come on. It's real easy.
And a ref shirt and...
a black shirt.
The guy literally looks like Red Shoes' twin. It's crazy.
Maybe they're setting up for a Earl Hebner, Dave Hebner kind of thing.
Where they can work in like Yota Tsuji and his brother.
Yeah, do a whole twin gimmick.
Yes. That'd be tremendous. Oh dear.
Our last undercard tag match. It's El Desperado, Jon Moxley, and Shota Umino taking on House of Torture. Evil, Narita. Yoshinobu Kanemaru with the dick.
Mm.
Again, a lot of interference throughout this match. Desperado hits Guitarro down head on Kanemaru for 2. Narita gets the push-up bar, distracting the ref. Togo uses the garrote on Desperado, but Moxley takes him out, and then he ends up planchaing Narita on the floor. Kanemaru hits the Santori surprise on Desperado, runs him into the exposed buckle, and rolls him up for the win.
This has so much potential. So much potential. I mean, the shenanigans will never be as bad as they were. Their match. But gosh dang. Do they have to be this bad perpetually?
Yeah. Seems like it.
Because again, I feel like I'm a broken record. Every show that I've watched, especially since Narita has joined, each of these guys are so individually good on their own with their characters, with their gimmicks. But it's some bullshit. It's some bullshit. The shenanigans are too much. Gotta like tone it back, reel it in a little bit. You're giving us 1,000. We only want 100. There's a thing to be said about overzealousness, and it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, I agree. And
Strangely enough, I enjoyed the match otherwise, and I enjoyed Moxley's time in it, which is just not something I always say. So nice.
And we've said this many times. There's AEW mocks and there's New Japan mocks, and we got New Japan mocks, but his New Japan mocks has been turning up on AEW these last while. Like I don't know what it was. Every time I've seen him wrestle, he's had a really compelling wrestling matches. He hasn't been bleeding. He hasn't been doing his crazy shit. So that is a giant improvement to the character, in my personal opinion.
I wholeheartedly agree. Because you know how much I don't like seeing people bleed, especially nonsensically. And for a long time, his bleeding was nonsensically. It made no sense. And it was just random and for no reason. You could tell that he was doing things that he shouldn't have been doing. It's like you want to do that, just get hit in the head. Yeah. Just do it. Just take the shot to the face, take the whatever. We'll talk about that, how that ended up on one of these shows.
We'll talk about that in the next minute, and then on May 4th. So May 4th show. But we're gonna move into it's a NJPW World Television Championship match. Zack Sabre Jr. defending against Jeff Cobb in a rematch from last year. Cobb hasn't had a singles belt since he had the Never Openweight title and the ROH TV Championships simultaneously in 2019. Yeah, Cobb catches Sabre going for a flying tornado DDT and just belly to bellies him, no problem. And it just looked beautiful. And then Cobb comes running out in the corner, but Sabre just dodges out of the way and hits this flying tornado DDT to follow it up. I'm like, man, great sequences, man. These guys are just so close so well together. Zack Sabre Jr. gets a German on Cobb. But Cobb pops right back up into one of his own. Just him hitting the German on Cobb was like, right? So, yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, Cobb puts Sabre up top, but Sabre reverses into a sleeper. He slides down, power bombs Cobb to the mat, gets a stack pin for 2, which looked great. Sabre reverses and gets an O'Connor roll, but Cobb reverses a sleeper attempt, and he gets him up, hits him with an F5000. End of the match comes. Sabre pulls the armbar, but Cobb reverses, lifts Sabre up into Tour of the Islands. And Jeff Cobb is your new NJPW Television Champion.
Yes. We've been waiting a hot minute. I'm pretty sure we met him when he was the double champion. Yeah, because he was at the Nate show.
He did. He was.
Yeah, I think I actually have a picture of myself holding the ROH title. Yeah.
I don't think he hadn't won the Never title yet, because he would won the Never title a few days later at Supercard of Honor.
It's on my Instagram. You can go see it there.
No, but he would win that title like a week or two later at Supercard of Honor from Ospreay.
So, Zack has gone through a huge makeover since joining TMDK and his exit of Suzuki-gun. He was still blonde in Suzuki-gun, but he wasn't like the California surfer boy blonde like he is now. He wasn't a bleach blonde, and he wasn't tan. He was like our pale asses. The tan has just done insane for it, showing off his definition and size growth. This guy's getting thick. He's starting to look a little bit more like Shane Haste, like a non-tattooed version of Shane Haste. And as a result, his strikes are getting a lot more oomph behind them than they used to. He doesn't have to throw himself into his European uppercuts, for example, like he used to, just to get a reaction. It's taking less energy for him to get a higher result. But this match, Cobb showed off his flexibility and focus like a mofo. He had an answer for a lot of things that Zack was trying to do, and Zack would usually have ease in yeeting Cobb around in certain things, but Cobb was going, not this time. And it was so cool because we got to see almost that like process of learning that Cobb has done among his like multiple times meeting Zack in the ring here. I popped when he did the Sabre driver, because that was another thing where it's like you were not expecting it, just like the German, you're not expecting it. But I'm telling you, he's getting thicker, just like Shane Haste. He's gonna have no problems eating around people like Jeff Cobb in no time. There was that transition where Zack was in the superplex and he ended up transitioning into a rear choke onto Jeff Cobb in the corner. It looked super impressive. Super impressive, because that went from like a high like intensity and like scary, stressful moment for me, because I'm like, oh, that's gonna hurt so bad, into oh, would you look at that? He completely changed the trajectory of what he was doing and where he was going. So really, really freaking cool match. But that F5000 by Cobb was insane. Where he just lets go and they just just crazy. And correct me if I'm wrong on this, Andre. This match was also free on New Japan World, was it not?
Yeah. All NJPW World Television title matches are free on the NJPW World account.
So if you click on the link in the description box below, you can go check out this match and all the other NJPW World TV title matches. I guarantee you will be in for a treat. That is all.
That is all. That is all, Jeeves. That is all.
That is all, Jeeves. That is all.
We move on to what I thought was match of the night: Yota Tsuji versus David Finlay. This tore it down, man. Like,
yes, 100%, 100%.
So listening to the commentary, and ELP was on commentary on the show after he finished his match. We're talking about when Finlay had the sleeper on and he gets that like high angle on people when he's got the sleeper on to put pressure. I love that difference that he does, is getting that high angle and pushing down on people, trying to really wrench the neck while he's got the sleeper. Tsuji sending Finlay to the floor at one point, hits this crazy suicide dive, and Finlay goes back flipping over the guardrail. It looked so good.
So sick. Like, my God. These guys were so into it. I love it.
Yeah. Huge dominator back in the ring by Finlay, and he gets a 2 out of that. Like, so good. Finlay reverses the Marlowe crash, which is that double jump stomp that Tsuji does, into a beautiful looking stunner. And then he hits him with a buckle bomb, hits him with Into Oblivion, but can only get 2. And it was just a great combination of just the reversal into the stunner, which is his old move, and then hitting the buckle bomb and Into Oblivion. Just such a great combination there.
That's smart.
Yeah.
So smart.
Gato distracts the ref. Finlay gets a spear, but Tsuji revert. Sorry, he distracted Tsuji. Finlay gets a spear to Tsuji, but he goes for overkill. But Tsuji reverses into Stun Dog Millionaire, which ELP called, and then he follows it up with a big old Gene Blaster. But he can't get the win here. Tsuji gets hit in the face by Shillelagh when he's lining up for another Gene Blaster. Finlay hits a power bomb for 2, then another power bomb, picks him up, overkill, and David Finlay is your winner. And yes, easily best match of night number 1 of May 3rd.
100%. I totally forgot that I actually had notes for this. The charisma that these two men had in this match was just off the charts. It was insane, the storytelling that these two were doing throughout this whole thing. Finlay playing that like arrogant, cocky Mamma Jamma that we have come to know and love that he's playing now, and Yota playing that new hungry face coming off an IWGP World title loss against his mentor, Tetsuya Naito. It's just there was so much riding on this match, and they were fighting like they knew it. Because like, how do you so given what happened in the next main event, it's like we had to know that there was setups going on with David Finlay, but we also know that like we can't have, the cup winner who just won the cup, lost his opportunity. How do we still make him look strong in this? And I feel that they did everything right in this match to make both of these men look strong, despite Finlay coming out on top. Nothing was taken away from Tsuji in this one. He showed he can hang with one of the top guys of the company, and he's been doing it since he's gotten back here with Sonata, with who was next? Naito. With Finlay now. He's just Goto to win the cup. Like, he's hanging with the big boys, and he's doing it with effortlessly. It's tremendous. What disappoints me though is that Tsuji is starting to feel like he's falling into that TMDK kind of thing. And we mentioned this last year, especially, and the beginning of this year. TMDK are those guys that you call upon to have championship matches because they are going to freaking deliver no matter who they're against. Tsuji is becoming that guy that they call upon to put him in. Sonata was that guy until Tsuji got here. I don't want to see Tsuji take the same route as Sonata, though, because over the last little bit, it's been a little underwhelming, and now he's injured. This is an opportunity for Sonata to kind of come back a little bit stronger, a little bit more, please, charismatic. But in the meantime, he was blonde. It wasn't helping.
Well, it's better than the dark hair.
Yeah, I mean, that depends. I mean,
when he went back to
Okada.
But when he went back to his dark hair and shaved the beard, he lost all his charisma. The blonde hair and his chin beard did something for him.
Made him look homeless.
At least it was something more than generic guy with no beard.
I mean, he could grow back the beard. I wouldn't be mad about that. But the blonde hair isn't necessary, because when he was Cold Skull, when he had the dark hair and the beard, he was still good. He was with Evil at that point. They were winning the IWGP World Championship, Tag Team Championship. So, maybe he just needs a partner and needs to kind of not focus so much on the singles thing. But back to these two.
Taichi and Sonata into the tag division. That would be great.
Yeah, I mean, arguably shouldn't have left. But yeah, I love this match, and I have to agree with you. This was main event worthy. This was my main event of the night. I know there was another match, but this was match of the night for me as well.
Yeah, and not that this following match was bad. It didn't live what that intensity had. This did not have. Yeah, this was a good match. IWGP Global Championship. Nic Nemeth defending against El Presidente, Hiroshi Tanahashi. I literally wrote the other name in a bunch of times. God damn it.
Ziggler?
Yeah.
That's okay. ELP didn't know that either.
Oh my, that's probably why I kept thinking it, because ELP kept calling him Ziggler the entire show. But yeah, ELP look really weird to me. Like, they just, the boots look weird. I don't know why. I like his old WWE boots that had the weird straps around them. These boots just look awkward. I don't know why.
I think I mean, for me, it was probably a texture thing because the texture of the boots were like very, very latexy and shiny,
I didn't like
whereas
it.
like the texture of the pants was glitter and like zebra print glitter. So there was a lot happening on his pants. That was, I'm not gonna lie, very distracting.
I
Just
need him to
looks
bring back.
fantastic.
I need him to bring back his white boots from when he was in WWE that had the nice like wraparounds on them. They look so
I
clean.
did like those, yeah.
Yeah.
But I looked better than Tana's.
Yeah. So Ziggler's working over the ankle and the leg of Tanahashi throughout the match because again he just came off an ankle injury and again he's
Mhm,
well known to have knee problems. There's a great
mhm.
spot where they both get like one gets sent over the top and he skins the cat back in. Then the other gets sent over the top and he skins the cat back in. I thought that was a fun little spot. They're trading strikes at one point. Nemeth hits just gross looking headbutt. Tanahashi comes back with a sling blade, goes up, hits Ace's high for 2. Tana, at another point, Tana ducks a shot, hits a twist and shout, follows with a great looking sling blade for 2. He goes up, but he lands on the knees on the high fly flow, gets rolled up by Nemeth for 2. Nemeth ducks another sling blade attempt, hits danger zone, hits another, and Dolph Ziggler in like 15 minutes retains the title. Again, the match seems short to me too. Like it seems shorter than it should have. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm not against that because this match was good. It was really good, but especially after the other match,
Nic Nemeth
whatever.
retained.
I'm being ELP. It was Dolph Nemeth. Dolph Nemethler. Dolph Nemethler.
Methler. Oh, English is fun. Um, yeah, this was a good match. It wasn't bad by any means. It just didn't have the intensity that the match before it had. It was like the way I would describe it is like when you're revving your engine and it never switches gear. You know what I'm saying? It's just like ging 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 ging, like it's just stuck. It reached a certain point and it didn't progress past that. Um, but given love Tanahashi, but given his limitations, I feel this is the absolute best that we could get out of him. And I feel that Nemeth did a tremendous job in making Tanahashi look so good. And Tanahashi gave his all to make Nemeth look so good and worthy of that title. So I got to commend both of these guys because, yeah, like it was exactly what I expected out of Nemeth with his little jumping bean kind of thing. He was overselling everything. He was jumping into everything, but it looked good and it helped with the mobility of Tanahashi. Tanahashi looked pretty solid in this one. And like we've been very critical, well, I have, about his sometimes seemingly inability to walk, just simply walk, this poor man. But he gave it his all in this match. I got to commend him for that. It was very, very good, but it wasn't Finlay versus Tsuji. It wasn't
Yeah.
quite there.
So post match, Finlay attacks Nemeth and Tanahashi. He gets a shillelagh, but misses a swinging at Nemeth, and they brawl around the ring. So the young War Dogs break them up. Nemeth gets a mic, calls him a coward, challenging him to defend the title anytime. And he says, "No, you know what? Tomorrow night, I wanted to face you for the title. I want to face you for the championship." And I wrote, "Hopefully, Finlay becomes a 2-time champion." Is what I wrote here. So
hopefully,
post match, they set up the title match for the following night.
yes.
Oh, and also
Yes.
on the fact of Jeff Cobb winning the TV title, on May 11th, he is facing Lance Archer, defending that TV title at New Japan Strong Resurgence. So,
Gosh. Oh, that's going to be such a good show. I'm so excited
oh,
for that show.
I've got more to talk about, so don't worry.
Are we allowed to talk about the thing that we discovered kind of today for ourselves?
No, because well, we can talk about it, but it technically came out of a show that hasn't aired on outward publicly yet, unless you paid for the
Oh,
pay-per-view. We can talk about it.
okay, let's continue.
I'll talk about it after we're done May 4th. How about that?
Sure.
Yeah. So, okay, I get back up to the top of my notes here. At the bottom. Pre-show match, Frontier Zone tag match. It is Katsuya Murashima and Togi Makabe taking on Naoki Sakurajima and Jet Way. Yeah. So
Now, did that what's his name? Naoki? I'm not even going to try to say the last name.
Naoki Sakurajima. Yeah.
Yes. He was giving me like Andy Anderson. He reminded me of like a young Andy Anderson. El Lobo. Loved it.
Yeah.
Anyway, take as a don't.
Both these guys are from Kyushu Pro Wrestling. I really like Jetway's green and gold and white tights. I think they look great. The end of the match, a huge lariat for two by Makabe to Jetway. Then and gets a 2 count. Hits a scoop slam. Goes to the top. King Kong knee drop on Jet for the win. But I really thought I thought Naoki was good, but I really liked Jet in this match. I thought he did a great man.
I would have actually loved to have seen him in the Super Juniors. I feel he would have been, especially if you lock him up with Ishimori. I saw a lot of similarities to him in that.
You said a young Andy Anderson, right?
Yes.
Naoki's 39. So he's younger than Andy
Front
Anderson.
door. No.
Yeah, Naoki's 39. That's to do with the goatee. Yeah, he's 39.
I feel like Andy's older than I am, though.
Oh yeah, he's in his 40s. The guy's been wrestling since the early.
That's still younger.
Still
younger,
but not a young version.
Well, I mean, look at him. He's clearly got the blessing side. He's gonna look like this until he's 80, and then he's gonna wake up looking like Muda.
Yeah.
But this was very fun. I really enjoyed this match. I also really, really enjoyed Jetway. Very, very quick. He teamed very, very well with his partner. I actually really enjoyed these guys. You could tell they were wrestling a little heelish in this. I kind of liked how they made that very defined. You know, how I like the clear definition of heel and face. Fun match.
Andy Anderson, according to Pro Wrestling Wikia, is 49. So he's 10 years younger. Yeah.
There you go. See?
Learning things. We move on to another pre-show match, because this was on the pre-show, according to things. It's Sho Makato and Tiger Mask versus TMDK's Mikey, Nicholls, and Shane Haste. Shane Haste entering with a bag of popcorn sitting in his title belt, like in his crotch area, like it was in his title belt.
Yeah, he ended up giving it to Chris.
And Chris is like, I'm just going to put it to the side for now because he's working. He's talking, so he can't eat. I wonder if Jeff Cobb ate it when he came out.
He took it back. After the match. He took it back, yeah. Because he was eating it in the backstage. I actually watched some of the backstage promos for this one. He was just shoving it in his face again.
All right. The end of this match was TMDK sent Tiger Mask to the floor, and they hit. So, Chris Charlton.
What they hit, Andre?
Shane Haste gave this name. Just remember, Shane Haste gave this name the Power Bottom, which is a Power Bomb Uranagi combination, which is also a Rock Bottom. Holy shit, I was laughing my ass off. And they get the
I was too. And it was just, it caught me so off guard. It was the last that I just heard Power Bottom and I went, what? and then had to turn up the volume. And he said it a few more times. I was like, that's what I thought you said. Poor Mikey Nicholls. No.
And Chris is trying to call it a rock bomb. But like Haste is like, no, it's a power bottom.
I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, it is a power bomb and a rock bottom.
A rock bomb. Rock bomb works.
Bomb bottom would even sound better than that. Bomb bottom.
Power bottom. This is why Shane Haste is one of my favorite pro wrestlers.
I mean, yeah, you know what? We got the salmon splash. We got the power bottom. Long live NJPW.
Yep. I very much enjoyed this little tag match.
Me too. It was good times. I don't like that TMDK was on the pre-show. I don't like that.
Yeah,
that's something you subject your whole audience to.
Yeah, but isn't the pre-show matches free? So they're trying to show off the best team in the world, TMDK.
Yeah, but they're showing them off as people are coming in. People should already be there and is set in their seats to see TMDK because these are tag champions.
It's true.
Tag champions. So I'm insulting my mic.
We move on. It is just 5 guys, Douki and Yuya Uemura against the United Empire's Francesco Akira and the Great Okan. The end of this match came. Douki gets a Douki Choki onto Akira, but Akira reverses out. They trade a bunch of pinfalls. Douki gets an arm drag into the seatbelt pin, but Akira reverses the seatbelt pin to his own seatbelt pin, and he gets the 1, the 2, and the 3, pinning Douki in this match. I was expected, but I was like, all right. I'm like, I've become a really huge fan of Douki, but Akira, Empire, baby.
Yes. Amore. I love Akira. And he was on fire in this. It's been weird because during the War Dogs and Empire kind of feud, Akira, he was in the forefront with the forking thing, but he wasn't one of the main members on Showcase throughout that feud. I feel like this Super Juniors is going to be a resurgence for him. Pun sort of intended because of the name of their pay-per-view.
Resurgence.
Love it when I have those accidental things that just work out really nicely.
You're so punny. You're so punny.
I am. I'm punny. Yeah, this was a fun little thing. I was more focused on the juniors in this one than I was Yuya and Okan. Not to say that their part wasn't great, but I was just way more interested in Douki and Akira.
Yeah, Douki and Akira were fire in there together, man. They were just so damn good. And are they in this? I don't remember if they're in the same block or not, but if they are, I could see Douki. If they are in the same block, I could see Douki getting the win back.
I have to check that. I wouldn't be mad about that either because it would be one hell of a match. I mean, we had one hell of a match with these guys in a tag team. I can't wait to see them one-on-one. No interference from anybody else, hypothetically.
Yeah. We move on. It is United Empire's Kyle Newman and Jeff Cobb taking on TMDK's Kosei Fujita and Zack Sabre Jr. Sabre reversing a powerbomb into a guillotine, then into a triangle, but Callum lifts him and finally hits a powerbomb, which he's been trying to do for so long. Powerbombs the shit out of Sabre. So they continue on. The end of the match comes. Newman misses a shooting star press off the top. Fujita takes him out. And then Fujita hits him with an enziguri. Cobb takes out Fujita. And then Sabre sends Cobb out. Newman hits some kicks, but Sabre ducks the tornado kick and picks him up. Zack Driver for the win.
I was getting super stoked in this because I thought this would be the time that we would see Newman pick up not a win on his own, but that Cobb would pick up a win and Callum would get to raise his arm at the end of this one. He's still considered a young lion, though, isn't he? A young boy.
Yeah, he's the Empire young boy.
He's the Kosei Fujita, or maybe just like a little bit behind, like a few months behind.
Well,
Kosei Fujita.
they were making comparisons of Fujita and Cal Newman situations.
Mhm,
Chris Charlton was about how they are
mhm,
very similar in the fact that both were brought into teams as young
mhm.
lions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's just interesting because like I don't recall seeing Newman going through the same thing. Like because Fujita was still at ringside for a little bit.
Yeah, I would say Newman's young lion is very different because he's been brought in from the outside. He didn't go dojo.
Exactly.
He was like a guy that Osprey brought in. Like that,
Hmm.
I think he is their young lion, but he's not a young lion in the traditional sense where he works the ringside and does the young
Hmm.
lion system.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, it normally I'm kind of like very that's not really the way it should be. But then again, I liked what they did with Fujita. And I want to see them capture that magic again with somebody. Who better than Caleb Newman on the United Empire, especially when United Empire is kind of going through the same thing Queen's Quest and Stardom is going through right now. They lost their captain. They're kind of, I wouldn't say drifting, but there's questions. There's more
Mhm.
questions than answers coming out of this faction right now. So it'd be interesting to see where Newman's kind of place kind of ends up falling in this one, especially being that he was handpicked and brought in by Osprey only to kind of be abandoned.
Yeah, and, yeah, and again, where's TJP right now? Like I know he probably went home for a week or so
uh,
before he's coming back for the Super Junior tour. Like
yeah,
a little bit of time. Moxley is working the Super Junior tour. That's probably why
yeah.
he's not around. But
I mean, his lady's wrestling right now, isn't she?
I didn't know his lady was a wrestler. So
Yeah, she wrestles a little bit more hardcore-ish, so maybe he's nursing her a little bit.
could be. Could be. We're gonna move on because we got lots more to get through. House of Torture. That team. Eve Show, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Yujiro Takahashi taking on the Gorillas of Destiny. El Phantasmo and Hikuleo along with El Desperado and Shota Umino. Into this match, Evil sent to the floor. Gato is climbing in the ring, but he gets the rope kicked in his crotch. And Desperado hits a suicide dive onto them on the floor. ELP hits just a rope walk moonsault to all of House of Torture on the floor, except for Gato, where in back of the ring, or not Gato, and Kanemaru was the one that didn't get attacked. It didn't get one too. Because back in the ring, Umino hits Ignition, the Blaze Blade, and the Death Rider to Yoshinobu Kanemaru and gets the win.
Mhm, mhm.
Just
I'm
happy
not gonna
not to see
lie.
I'm just happy HOT didn't win.
Yeah, same, same. I was honestly more invested in it's just the massive Canadian heart that ELP has specifically for El Desperado. The L's just trying to bond so desperately in this one, and like ELP like a little golden retriever, just like, come on now, be my friend, high five. Desperado's just sitting there like a grumpy cat, like, no. I don't want. I was more invested in Desperado giving Hikuleo a high five in this match than I was in the match.
Mm-hmm. It was there.
Yeah. It was not my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shota is getting a lot more palatable for me though. Like the more I'm seeing him work and the more I'm seeing him start to look not like somebody else, but starting to look a little bit more like who I think he's probably evolving into,
Mm-hmm.
makes me happy. Because now he looks more like a Ken doll now, I'm not gonna lie, but like I like it.
Oh,
I'm starting to like the haircut a little bit.
just so you're saying Shota Umino doesn't have a penis.
I am in no way, shape, or form saying that. No.
Well, you said he looks like
No.
a Ken doll. And...
I mean, no.
Hiroshi
Talking about
Tanahashi and
hunks of plastic.
Boltin Oleg taking on just 5 guys, Taichi and Taka Michinoku. Taka gets just face lock on Tanahashi, but Oleg pulls him up, but he's still holding on to just face lock on Tana, so he drops him to like let him break the hold and picks him up again, gut wrenches them across the ring. And then he takes out Taichi. Tana hits the sling blade on Taka, goes up top, high fly flow for the win.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. Taka Michinoku takes those gut wrenches, I would say just as good as Kanemaru.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Kanemaru, like he makes it obvious that he's putting himself into position for it. Taka made it less obvious. He made it less obvious. Very, very good show from Just Five Guys in this one. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Taichi pantsed also. Yes, he pantsed, which was nice. Everyone was excited, especially Chris Charlton.
And Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb seemed to enjoy it too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because at this point, Jeff Cobb has joined commentary.
Ooh. And like, it took me a while to figure out that it was him. Like, I knew it was him, but every time I heard him, like, that just doesn't sound like him. The commentary was hilarious. Like, the banter between those two was just
like ELP and Jeff Cobb are the perfect fill-in partners for Chris Charlton if their 100%. Name is not Alex Zane. Alex Zane, I still think is my favorite because he's just like utterly ridiculous. But like, yeah.
Did I send you the video of him kicking that little person?
So good.
So funny.
Final undercard match before we get to our 4 title matches on this show. 8-man tag, LIJ's Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Tetsuya Naito, and Yota Tsuji taking on Bullet Club, War Dogs, Clark Connors, Taiji Ishimori, Joe Maloney, and Gato. Ishimori joining the War Dogs tonight for David Finlay, who was the original graphic had David Finlay in this match until they made the tag. And it was supposed to be Nemeth and Tanahashi in that tag and in that the previous tag match too. So yeah, things got changed.
Hey, I think for the better though.
Yeah, War Dogs quadruple team Naito. Drilla plants him with the spinebuster stomp. Can only get 2. He goes for Drilla Killa, but Naito slips out. Tsuji comes in. Tsuji takes out Connors, takes out Gato. Bushi suicide dives Ishimori on the floor. LIJ all attack Drilla. Naito hits the sister Trinity DDT, follows up with Destino, and gets the win. But the best part was post-match. Tsuji has Gato by his beard. And then literally yanks part of his beard out and blows it onto one of the Japanese announcers. And the guy, the Japanese announcer is like,
yeah, he's like, no.
He's just waving his arms like, no.
Same. Yucky.
That don't want that beard.
You don't know where that's been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love that Drilla Killa. I know he didn't pop it off in this one. He almost did. But I just love that Drilla Killa. The way he can just suddenly just put somebody in it and just pop it off is so good. Yeah, I'm really actually, as you know how much I enjoyed United Empire versus Bullet Club. Now to see the War Dogs turn their attention to LIJ, I think it's a really good reinvigoration for LIJ, who've been really quiet until the last couple of months. I feel like this is kind of a resurgence again, punny resurgence for LIJ. I'm excited for how some of these kind of pop off, because despite the showdown between Tsuji and Finlay the night before, and now the showdown between Kid and Shingo, I don't think it's over for these guys quite yet. I feel like United Empire, I think we're still in for a good couple more months of battling, and I'm kind of here for it.
Well, yeah, I think the War Dogs really want dominion over New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I see what you did there. I understand that reference.
So bad. They
Oh,
want
we
to be.
try.
They want to be the G's one day.
Oh, that one was a stretch, but I'll allow it.
I tried. I was trying. I was like, oh.
It was a good effort.
They want to be the kings of pro wrestling. Come on.
Hey,
That's
I
how it
mean,
works.
that's fair.
Gotta keep it punny. We're moving on. IWGP Tag Team Title match. It's Bishamon, Hirogoto, and Yoshihashi versus Bullet Club, Chase Owens and Kenta. Again. Cobb calls Yota a Ninja Turtle. Again. Love when you stop making fun of
He
him.
does look like it. This stuff is just so oversized.
Well, when he has the belt on, it actually looks better because it's sucked in because of the belt being closed. So it actually looks halfway decent on him when it's cinched in by the title belt.
That's true. He sometimes he carries it out though. It's a 50-50 chance on if he's carrying it or wearing it. I was gonna say weighing it. Why would he weigh it?
I don't know. Yoshihashi gets a corner lariat and then gets a delayed suplex to Kenta. And Chris Charlton says Yoshihashi's been working out, but Cobb says nah. Yoshihashi, he just forgot how to do a suplex. That's why he stopped partway through.
That's true.
I laughed. And this comes from the man that is the king of delayed of the delayed suplex. The man like does squats while he's delayed suplexing people.
It's true. It is very true. The things that Jeff Cobb can do are just not fair.
No. Goto kicks away the belt from Kenta. He's coming in to use it and throws him out, but Chase Owens gets the belt, hits him, but he only gets a 2 count. He follows it up with Jewel Heist, but Yoshihashi pushes Kenta into the pin to break it up. One point, the C trigger gets caught, and Bishamon hit Violent Flash, but Chase fights off Shoto, and Kenta hits Yoshihashi with, and this is Jeff Cobb saying, the Greco-Roman chair shot.
I did not hear that one.
Well, I
heard the chair shot, but I didn't hear the Greco-Roman part.
Oh, he said and then Chris was like, it's not Greco-Roman, because he always talks about the Greco-Roman throat hold, right?
Yeah, that Taichi does. Yeah.
Cobb is playing off that, and I laughed so hard.
I'm sad I missed that now.
Yeah. In the end, though, Goto hits GTW, but Chase kicks out at 2. Shoto is fought off, sending Yoshihashi out. Chase hits a low blow to Goto, and Kenta has the ref distracted. Kenta then follows up Buseiku knee, and Chase hits a jackknife pin for the win. And we have new IWGP Tag Team Champions. Man, these are the hot potato titles, man. They just keep switching. Not that the TV title has done the same thing over the last little bit, but at least
never open championship. Yeah.
But I can say at least like Riddle in his run got like a couple defenses on MLW. It wasn't like he just won it then lost it. It was like the global title too.
The global title, KOPW title for a bit there when it was hot potatoing between Shingo and Taichi.
Please tell me that jackass Vince Russo isn't booking for New Japan now, because that was his favorite thing, was just constantly have title changes.
I don't think that's the case, but in regards to the IWGP tag titles, as we mentioned earlier, the tag division seems to be a little in shambles right now in NJPW, with like some prominent members kind of leaving, and they haven't necessarily been replaced. I feel like their next tournament. I don't know why I think it's just the World Tag League that they do for these guys. I feel like that's going to be when they start putting a little bit more attention into what like tag teams that they have and who should be able to challenge. I think there we'll start to see a little bit more of a invigoration into their tag division. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm happy that the titles are back on Chase and Kenta. Because yay, Kenta won something
again.
Finally, again. Keep this up. More wins for Kenta.
We move on to, I'll admit, my best match of the evening. And the next two matches were both really good matches, but this was straight fire. Never open weight championship match. Shingo Takagi defending against Gabe Kidd. I love Gabe Kidd's new Madman robe and his new Madman.
Mm-hmm.
I loved them, yeah.
So good.
They end up brawling to the floor early. Kids whipping Shingo into the barricade, and this is where the camera goes all fuzzy. It was really, we got whipped into the barricade, and the camera went all weird. I was like,
oh yeah, like with the weird, I was like,
like a cable got yanked or something. It was really cool.
yeah,
And they do like a chair, like a lightsaber chair battle on the floor. Kid hits him in the face, and then Kid hits an exploder to Shingo onto the chair on the floor. Oh, yeah.
Nasty.
They were trading these backdrop suplex in, and Shingo hits this last one to Kid, literally dropping him on his head. It looked so rough. I was like, oh!
Yeah.
Yeah. They're headbutting each other up top. But Kid fights him off, gets a hanging guillotine. Then they drop to the mat, and he hits a brainbuster at center. But this is where he pulls Shingo up, and you're like, dude, come on.
Why?
It's Shingo. You don't do that.
No.
Later in the match, Shingo gets a pumping bomber, but Kid reverses Last of the Dragon into a pile driver. But Shingo pops right back up with a sliding lariat. They're both down. This is where they get up, and Kid hits another headbutt and gets a pile driver, but he's like flopping around the ring, like all fucked up from hitting his headbutt. But he finally gets a pin, but he only gets two. The end of the match comes. They're striking hard. And then Shingo gets him down, hits a sliding lariat. Then he comes back with a rebound lariat, which is Gabe Kidd's move. Picks him up, Tiger Driver 91, just dropping him on his head. Gets a 2 count, hits another sliding lariat, picks him up, Last of the Dragon, and Shingo Takagi retains the never open weight championship.
What battle this was. This was so war. And like, I loved Gabe Kidd when he was just unhinged in that battle with the United Empire. But like this, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of like what I would consider Gabe Kidd showcases, particularly in North America, where he's been kind of beaking off, running his mouth, and I'm kind of living for it because I feel like the North American crowd gives him the response that he wants. I feel like he feeds off the what's the word? Like the energy of the crowd. So when they start booing the fizzity-yuck out of him, he loves it. He knows that he's doing something right. Whereas the Japanese crowd can be pretty quiet until something happens, and then they clap. Regardless if you're the face or the heel, if you did something impressive, they're gonna clap for you. So I think Gabe Kidd does probably from that UK background to his, because the UK fans are freaking savage. I would love to see a wrestling show in the UK just to be just surrounded by absolute chaos and music. Because it's almost like wrestling and karaoke night in one night.
We're going to have to save up some money and then go crash at Mark's place then.
Oh, they do like, I'll keep you in the loop, honey. There's really cheap tickets that we can get on certain times of the year to go to the UK for under $1,000.
I need to get a passport first.
Yeah, you should probably get on that.
Yeah, really should.
But yeah, this match was just so heavy hitting. You know how much I love Shingo Takagi, and you know how much I love when he gets challenged. Gabe Kidd was a challenge for him, and it's been a hot minute. Like it's been since Taichi, I feel that we've seen Shingo really truly challenged, and I feel like this was what he needed to kind of really start off his dominant reign as the never openweight champion.
Well, Shingo Takagi has been challenged again this coming weekend for Resurgence. It's him and Yuya Uemura for the never openweight championship.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know what? That does make sense, given yeah. I
But
would like it.
I think bigger news coming out of the All Together Again event this past weekend, which I still haven't been able to see because I can't
Mm.
find it anywhere online. It's not on New Japan World. I think you have to pay for it through pay per view, but you can't buy it from outside of Japan because it's a fundraiser event too. All the pay per view money is going
Oh,
towards the earthquake.
right,
Um,
right.
so Gabe Kidd attacked Kaito Kiyomiya during his match in the main event and setting
Mm.
up on June 16th, I want to say. I think, yeah, 6/16. June 16th. It's Gabe Kidd versus Kaito Kiyomiya at the Grand Noah Grand Voyage event for the GHC title. The big belt.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
sent me the poster for that. And like those two have had problems. They've been not happy with each other since last year's G1.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that Kaito, every time he comes to NJPW, seems like a sweet and stellar guy, but every time he comes to NJPW, has to start shit with somebody, don't he?
Mm-hmm.
First time it was Okada. That was definitely more of a bit off more that he probably could have chewed situation. I mean, smart to go for the biggest dog in the yard, but maybe should have started with the gatekeeper of like Ishii before, booting Okada in the face and nearly destroying Chris Charlton in the process. But now coming in, starting ish with Gabe Kidd. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's gonna be a great match, but my goodness, Kaito, I hope you're ready because Okada at least has some patience. Okada at least has some, what's the word, restraint.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe Kid don't have any restraint. That kid is completely unhinged. Yeah, oof, I'm worried for you, sir.
Yeah.
Worried.
So,
Yeah.
semi-main event, it's IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. It is Nic Ziggler, Nemethler, whatever you want to call him, versus
Nick
David. What?
Nick Zemeth? Is that Ziglemeth? I don't frickin' know.
Dick Zigglemeth.
Dolph Zigglemeth.
Dick Zigglemeth. Dick Zigglemeth.
Sweet mercy. Oh Lord, this
No,
man. And
Dick,
we're
Dick Nemethler. Dick Nemethler.
this guy, like for me, is hot. Like it's like D Bri Bri D Dibbity Doo Da Day and frickin' Bronson Reed Bronson.
Mr. Ziggles.
Zigglesworth.
Mr. Ziggles. This match starts. They're just brawling around. They fight like Finlay attacks him on the stage. They fight the ringside, running barricades. Uh, Finlay's hard whips into the corner are phenomenal. And I think they're made that much better by being Nic Nemeth, how he bounces out of the corner too. And he has that like
Mhm.
a very exaggerated Shawn Michaels flop style in his selling. Like Finlay does that. It always looks good, but Nemeth just made it look with the bounce out that he has. Like just so
Mhm. I agree.
Finlay spears Nemeth through the ropes at one point. Then gets him on his shoulders, tosses him into the ring post head first. Finlay does this running around the ring, goes to spear him through the barricade, but Nemeth dodges out of the way, and he goes right through the barricade door into another barricade, which then
Mhm.
falls on him.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Glorious chaos.
Yeah.
Poor choices were made.
Yeah, Nemeth reverses a power bomb at one point into a sleeper, taking Finlay down on the mat. But then Finlay gets up, climbs up to the second rope, and jumps off backwards, slamming Nemeth into the mat to break it up. Pretty, I like that. I really like that.
Mhm.
Another great power bomb reversal by Nemeth, reversing it into the Famouser for 2. Looked really good.
Mhm.
In the end, though, Finlay hits a backdrop into the corner, then follows up with a power bomb for 2. He then picks him back up, power bomb, then lifts him up, overkill, that knee right to the jaw. David Finlay is the 2-time IWGP Global Championship. That title is back where it belongs.
I believe he said it in a promo, or backstage comments time that that title, David Finlay said this, that title was created specifically for him. I have to agree. I have to agree. Destroying the IWGP US and UK titles to make way for the global title. It felt so right. This has been a weird couple of months where it hasn't been where it belongs. I understand how and why they decided to give Mr. Nemeth a chance and make the run in the North American market because it got NJPW a lot of attention. Um, but I feel like the War Dogs and David Finlay in particular, these guys are the future of the North American push for NJPW, them and TMDK. So I feel like this was the best move for them. And it gives Nemeth an opportunity to do other things within NJPW if he chooses to, which I suspect he probably will, at least with a strong brand, at the very, very least. I suspect we're going to see him pretty regularly on anything happening in North America. But I'm very happy with this. I felt for Nemeth, this was just a more fun match for me to watch involving him. It was a huge step up from him and Tanahashi because Finley is on the same level as Nemeth. He can go just as quick, just as hard, just as fast. He can sell just as good. I loved this match. The intensity wasn't quite the same as Shingo and Kid. There was still animosity here. Like, don't get that twisted. There was a lot of animosity here. But I feel like the anger and the destruction just came out a little bit more with Shingo and Kid. But this match was tremendous. I was happy with this.
Yeah, I agree with you. Again, I really had a great match, and I personally say I don't think anybody sells like Dolph Ziggler in wrestling anymore because he was a man that took Shawn Michaels' place as the best seller in professional wrestling because the man just has an innate ability to make a like. I think the man could wrestle a broomstick and make the broomstick look like a goddamn champion. The same thing. That's the same thing people said about Shawn Michaels. Like he could wrestle a broomstick and make the broomstick look like it was like a world champion. And that's good they are at. That's how good they are at professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I feel like Ospreay is probably up in that category as well, though, because he sells really, really good.
Oh
But
yeah,
if we're talking over the top,
it's
Ibushi.
Ibushi's
comparable.
Ibushi could challenge Ziggler for that throne. You're
Yeah,
right, but
but like not Ibushi now.
no,
Not
Ibushi like
AEW
5 years ago.
Ibushi.
5 years ago.
NJPW Ibushi.
Like 5 years ago, Ibushi.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. But I agree. He's a very, very good sell. Very good sell. And no one flops around the way he does. Like he
Yeah,
does the ragdoll very, very well. No one else
very
does it
well.
like him.
We're going to jump in main event of the show. It's IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. Jon Moxley defending against Ren Narita. This was a better match than I thought it was going to be because, again, House of Torture. And it turned out into a really good match. Moxley does get attacked at ringside by Kanemaru and Sho during his entrance. But Shota shows up, but he gets fought off by House of Torture. They cuff him. Narita starts choking Mox with a chair. Umino gets hit over the head with a plastic chair by Sho. It was funny because he hit him, and all you heard was like a pop, and you see the seat go flying up in the air. It was pretty funny. So they all fight off. Mox fights them all off, and he gets Narita in the ring to start the match. And then they carry Shota to the back, or Kanemaru carries Shota to the back. They're fighting on the apron at one point. Sho stops a pile driver by Moxley on the apron. Moxley gets knocked to the floor. Narita hits the guillotine knee off the apron to Moxley on the floor. And then he picks up a barricade at one point when they're in the crowd and just smacks him with it. It was pretty funny. They go through some more stuff. Moxley gets attacked up top by Sho as he's got two tables set up on the floor with Narita on them. Narita comes up trying to superplex him through the tables on the floor. They fight to the apron, and Mox ends up hitting a Uranagi to Narita, sending him through the tables. I was like, ugh. Yeah. Narita at one point misses hitting Moxley with the push-up bar. Mox gets a sleeper, but Narita pushes him back into the ref. So House Torture all attack Moxley. Desperado shows up with a piece of table, taking out, smacks Kanemaru with it. Then it explodes over the head of Sho. And then he just takes them both to the back. It was great. Narita.
Oh, butt explodes. I just love that.
But it explodes, yes. Narita uses the push-up bar on Moxley, but he only gets 2. And Moxley didn't start bleeding. I was surprised. Later in the match, he gets a hammer and anvils, elbows into the sleeper, into the bulldog choke. But this is where the lights go out. Evil and the Little Dick are there. And they attack Mox, hit Magic Killer. Little Dick uses the garrote. And Evil hits him with a chair. This is where Shota returns. He's gotten out of the cuffs, takes out the Little Dick and Evil. Narita tries to use the push-up bar on Shota Umino, but he ducks. Moxley hits Death Rider. Moxley follows it up with another elevated Death Rider for the win. And we have Shota Umino versus Jon Moxley at Resurgence.
Again, as you mentioned, this was there were shenanigans, but it wasn't to the point where they were like horrible, like the last one we had to deal with these guys. I really, really like how Narita is progressing since joining House of Torture. I like how we've seen character out of him and how we've seen charisma, because we were just getting like the personality of a salt-free soda cracker. When he was with Strong Style, he was definitely being outshone by Minoru Suzuki in that case. I think the only one who actually bled in this one was Narita, when he got that pretty gnarly cut on his back after going through the table, but it doesn't look like it was deep enough like with Kenta's, where it was gushing pretty badly throughout the match. He was able actually to get through a lot of the match without it actually, like at one point I forgot it was there until he turned around. I was like, oh, what is that? Oh, right. Table a few minutes ago. He's good. Yeah. I actually really, really enjoyed this match. And that's, again, not something I always say with Moxley, but NJPW Moxley is just so good. It's like he really embraces that strong style when he's working the strong style wrestlers, and that enough people in AEW have worked with the strong style people and are maybe getting ready to work with the strong style people that he's more compelled to bring it over there. I don't know. But like it makes me happy to hear that he is kind of bringing in that NJPW strong style to AEW, because that's honestly my favorite style that he does. That being said, I hope that they don't bury Narita now, that he's had his opportunity and they just kind of boot him down to the end of the line. I want to see, maybe this is just like a shooting for the stars thing, but I want to see Shota dethrone Moxley, and I want to see what we should have gotten before Jack Perry came in and parried Narita. I want to see Shota Umino versus Red Narita for the IWGP Championship. What do you think about that, Andre?
That sounds phenomenal to me. But post-match, Evil's in the ring. He's the one still in the ring looking super pissed at Moxley. And I have a bad feeling they're going to that at Dominion. If Moxley gets through Shota Umino, I feel like it's Evil and Moxley at Dominion. And I'm like, oh no. I think he drops it at Forbidden Door, personally. I think he has it till Forbidden Door. And then he drops it to a New Japan guy at Forbidden Door. That's my feeling. Just to get a title change on that show.
Don't they have their own titles for that?
Yes, but remember, the champions are facing people from other companies. So if Moxley, an AEW guy who has the IWGP titles there, he's probably facing somebody from New Japan, which means he'll drop the title to whoever he faces from New Japan. And gets the title
Maybe
back.
this is just me, but like I kind of don't feel like I kind of feel like these Forbidden Door shows shouldn't be people who aren't a part of the companies getting shots at titles that aren't a part of their companies. What I want to see, and maybe this is just something that I have on myself, I want to see whose champion's stronger. I'll give a flying fruitcake about who is the guy who just faced Moxley on AEW? I don't even know. Hobbs?
Yeah, Hobbs.
I don't give a crap about him facing Moxley. I want to see who's stronger, Swerve Strickland or Jon Moxley. I don't want to see, Tony Storm just facing Anna Jay in the back. I want to see Tony Storm facing Micah or Mayu Iwatani to see which one of those champions is stronger. I want to see.
We're getting Tony versus Mina. Come on.
I know, and we want that, but I'm saying for Forbidden Door. This is what I want to see. Champion versus champion. Which trio's champion is stronger? I would love to see that. Put Boltin Oleg in with some of the big boys. Who's going to win that one?
Well, all the Bullet Club Gold guys are smaller than him.
This is what happens when we give you our best talents. So, that's what I want to see in shows like Forbidden Door. I don't want to see Tony Khan marking out on his guys going, "Ooh, we're going to have somebody challenge for a title that's not even on our company." No, I don't give a crap about that, your ego, buddy. I want to see a good match. Show me the top champions and show me which one's top. Which one's tippity-topper?
I agree with you. I agree. I think I would like that little. But and again, a couple of years ago, we did get a phenomenal match with Orange Cassidy challenging Ospreay for that U.S. title, which was bonkers good.
Yeah. But now they have their North American title now, don't they?
Yeah, the international title. Yeah.
So, global champion David Finlay versus whoever's holding that. Could be a great match. It would be really it's a good showcase.
That is potentially Ospreay versus Finlay because Ospreay's challenging at Double or Nothing for that title.
And what a freaking rematch it would be to have Finlay and Ospreay together again, particularly on a show where the freaking lunatics run the asylum. They could come up with some massively creative shit.
Mm-hmm. We might just do a show where we just fantasy
fantasy book everything. Maybe Tony Khan can get some ideas from us.
Well, I think we need to do a Forbidden Door fantasy booking show for this year. I think we need to do that in the next couple of weeks. But it's time for us to get out of here. So you can find me on X at That Can Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada Dude, Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, and right here on YouTube at youtube.com/@Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk. You can always find us in audio form at SundayNightsMainEvent.com. Go over there, get the RSS feed. Give us a 5-star review on your platform of choice. Like us, all the things you can do to make all the positive things. And if you want to support them, go to patreon.com/SNME radio for only $4 American per month. I think it's $5 Canadian. Lots of great content over there. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. You can always find me on twitch.tv/Our Local Establishment every Friday with Mel. And then I do Wednesdays. I do the Japanese wrestling update. We talk about, that's the show on Friday. On Wednesdays, I do Marvel Talk with my other tag team partner, Old Ed. I was so confused. My brain is not working.
We're on a roll.
With Old Ed, we'll be back on May the 15th to talk the final 3 episodes of X-Men Tolerance is Extinction. The first part 1 was so good. Part 2 comes out later. It comes out later tonight. I'm so excited to watch that tomorrow morning, along with all the other wrestling. We're gonna have you can check us out also, on over there, twitch.tv/Our Local Establishment, Instagram and TikTok at Our Oli Podcast, and then Our Local Establishment, and a bunch of other stuff. Big shout out to our boy Mike the Ref, because he's simulcasting all of our stuff over on Backbreaker Video at youtube.com/@Backbreaker Video. If you want to see all his live content, go to twitch.tv/Mike the Referee. You can see his AEW watch-alongs, see him play video games. If you want replays of the gaming content, go to youtube.com/@Backbreaker Gaming, where you can find content from him, Mr. PJC, Mr. Rick Jules, and the freaking guest, Kayla J.
Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. We love Kayla J.
We do. Melball, we're going to find you.
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find her, as Andre mentioned a few times, on our establishment Japanese Wrestling Update on Fridays at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Unless it's not, that we will let you know. We are going to be, where are we going to be? We're going to be at Top Talent this Friday, so it will be a pre-recorded episode because we will be screaming our faces off at Mustafa Ali.
Queen Amanita. Queen Amanita.
And Queen Amanita. Yes. So good. So much entertainment coming for you. We're going to probably have 2 Chop Talks coming at you next week. One for CWE, where, oh, how do you say the first part of his name? I always mess it up.
Savio Vega and Jimmy freaking Jacobs. Yes.
That one I don't know, but I'm excited to see. And then we will also have the Top Talent Chop Talk coming to you next week with, as we mentioned, Queen Aminata and Mustafa Ali, among other people. But we will, we've only got so much time and we've wasted a lot. You can also catch me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We're going to have an episode coming up very soon because we have so much shit to talk about. So much shit. Lots of stuff. Stay tuned to our socials to see when that is coming out. If you're wanting to watch NJPW, we will leave a link in the description box below. It is njpwworld.com. It is 999 yen, or approximately 10 Canadian. Shout out Sean Spears, but it's more like 750, according to this girl. Still an amazing price to watch some amazing professional wrestling. Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
2 things. Coming up in the next couple days, check out our newest show, Dream of Marigold, where we do our first episode. It's gonna be it's kind of the Marigold preview from Wrestle Magic. It is Marigold versus Noah. So come and check. We're just reviewing the one match. We're not doing the whole Wrestle Magic show because I don't have that in me. But yeah, check that out. And then also want to thank you guys also very much for supporting us. If you're on SNME Radio, please give us a 5-star review. Please like us and all the other stuff over there. Go to patreon.com/SNME Radio. And if you're watching on the YouTubes, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, share us out to your friends, family, strangers in the street, and all the crazy little weirdos that you know around this world. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. And that being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.